Okay, so what we're doing now is to take a look at the progress on my math test. When you log into your math test, you would see the list of quizzes you completed. By now, you should be done with quiz number 2 and quiz number 3. And by tomorrow, you should be done with the online test number 1, which includes chapter 2 and 3. When you complete the quiz, looks like in the in this portfolio, quiz number for chapter 3 is done. When you click on review from your end, I'm looking at the instructor view, but if you look at it as a student view, you would see a similar page. You can click on this arrow down. And by the way, there's a video lecture as how to use study plan to improve your grade, and that's exactly what shows what I'm doing right now. You can see that for this quiz here, most of the problems have been answered correctly except these 5. So if you click on any of these that are not correct, you can see your respond. Your answer was 1/2 x plus 10, whereas supposed to be 1/2 x plus 9 over 2. So that's a minor mistake here. Now, you have to pay attention to this reference number, which is 11.4.39, okay? So what I suggest is to list all the reference number for all the problems you did wrong. So like this is 11.4.25 and so on. And then go to the study plan and look for those reference numbers.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Okay. Now, do you have your MyMathTest open right now in front of you? Can you open it if you're not?
Okay, sure. Let me open it.
Okay. While you're doing this, I'm going to continue with what I was going to show. And let me know when you're ready, because I want to show everyone once you take the test, you did fairly good start. You got over 70%, which is really good. Now the study plan would be really meaningful once we take a look at that, which I'm going to do that as soon as you're ready. Let me know so I can let you share your screen.
Okay.
Yeah. So for rest of the class, as you can see, which problem you did wrong. Now you have access to these quizzes until the day of the final exam to improve it. You get deducted few points for being if you're late. However, you can improve your grade. And I post your grade on Canvas for this activity for quizzes on the day of the final exam, because you have until then to improve it. For the test, you can only take it one time during the time that are set aside. So make sure you complete them before it is expired. And read the class announcement about how to improve your test scores after you complete them, which is going to be revealed to you after tomorrow. Okay, we got it. We got you to log in. For those of you who had the same problem, she had to actually install the Zoom application, so she'll be able to log into to the Zoom meeting with the laptop. The reason I want you to share the screen with the laptop because it's a lot easier to view, as you can see. So go ahead and go to the page where you were looking at my math test. You see the icon to the top right. You can see it says course home to the top right, one of those pages that is open.
Oh, okay. I see. Yes, I see. Yeah. Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to request so I can able to click on your page too. So accept that for me so I can show you how to do this. Once you do that, go ahead and don't move your mouse anymore for a moment so I can get the control and show you what we're doing. All right. So this is for the rest of the class, actually. I showed already that you got over 70% for quiz number 3. So when you and then you can take a look at the results here. And what you want to do is when you see a results, it would take you to the page where you can see your scores. Okay. So the only one that you've done was this one. So when you click on the review, that review like I did from my end, you can see which problem you did wrong. So if you have a piece of paper right now, may I go ahead and do me a favor and list these problems I'm giving you right now. Just write this on the piece of paper. So what you want to do is you want to click on this little arrow down and then see the list of the problem you did wrong. So this should, the best would be to record this in your portfolio. So problem number, write down problem number 7. Actually, I'm sorry, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 11. So write the list of the problems. Next to each of those, when you click on each problem, you can see the reference number. Problem number 6 that you did wrong. And again, I showed this earlier that what's the correct answer supposed to be and what you posted. You want to write this reference number. Write 11.4.35 next to problem number 6, please, on your note. And then I'm going to do one more, and then actually do the last one, problem number 11. If you click on problem number 11, it would bring up the last problem you did wrong with your answer and correct answer there. Okay, so that was one of them. You said it's function, it's supposed to be not function. By the way, it's function. You can use the vertical test. If you draw a vertical line through a graph, if vertical line passes through the graph more than one point, then we conclude from there it's not function. That's violate the definition of function. And we have a lecture on that as well. But write down this reference number, 11.6-26. So once you're done with all that, you close this. We didn't record all of them, but you can do that later. Now, after that, you close this, and then you go to your study plan now. The study plan is a homework that you're supposed to do for your class, but they are targeted homework. So what was the first reference number that you recorded?
It's 11.4-35 for number 6.
There's a pin next to each of those type of problem that you did wrong. So you do also have to go do a look at 11.1. Actually, it's not done yet, but there are 2 pins here. You see these 2 pins? This means that you want to pay attention to those. Also for 10.1 and 10.2, you see a pin. So, but let's go to 11.4 and see what we got here. As you can see, you see a list of practice and quizzes here for those topics that you need to explore that relate to that one problem you missed. Okay, you don't necessarily have to do all the quizzes, but if you do the practice and the quizzes, then this pin would be removed from that section. Okay, it shows that you mastered that topic. But I'm just going to go ahead and click on one of them randomly. Write an equation given a point and the slope. So I'm going to click on the practice here to show you what kind of practice you can experience here with this program. So what you do next is you see how many problems are set aside for this type of problem. As you can see, there are 4 problems here. If you click on this arrow down, you can see the type. You don't have to necessarily do all these 4, but the nice thing about this is at this point is you can see a step-by-step solution for each of these problems. So there's a question help here. You can say view an example. You can actually send that question to me directly, but view an example would be a best choice here once you get to this point, because it would give you a very similar problem. If you compare this problem with the one that you already have here, it's the same problem, except they're giving you a different slope and different point. Okay, very similar problem. If you click on continue, you go through step by step as how to solve this problem, show you all the steps. You don't need anyone to help you with this problem. Once you're done with going through the steps, and then you can do this problem. Does that make sense so far what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay, so if you click on close here, and then I'm going to pick another one that there's a pin next to those so I'm going to go back to the study plan again, and this time I want to pick maybe 11.6. Okay, similarly, you see the list of the problems that related to that problem that you missed on the quiz. Let's use the vertical line test to function. That's the one that you did wrong, if you remember. If you click on the practice, you would see a similar problem like that has been posted for you. And actually, you have 3 of them. You can click on this 3. Some of these problems, actually, there are video lecture attached to those. So if you click on this one here, for these problems so far, we didn't see a video lecture. But some of these problems, you do have interactive videos, interactive tutoring and videos attached to them. And then, so for this one, the same thing again, you can click on the question help. It says view an example. And then you can see again, step by step, how to find out whether this is a function or not. This is obviously the function, because if you draw a vertical line through this, it would intercept the graph only at one point and one point only. You see that?
Yes, I see it.
And it tells you exactly what I just told you. Okay, so once you're done with the practices, again, like I said, you can do the quizzes too quickly if you want, if you have time, and then those pin would be removed from your study plan list, and that's how you can see a completed icon there that is done. You can also look at this is the best way to look at references and target the problems that you did on the quiz, because you're trying to redo the quiz and get a better score. But you can also click on all chapters, and overall it show you, okay, what are the areas that you can work on, not related necessarily to that quiz. But as you can see, for chapter 10 and 11, which is related, chapter 10 and 11 is really related to chapter 2 and 3 that we're doing. The pool of questions that we have on this program that have a slightly different. As you can see, if you do the quizzes properly, you see this icon here, this mastery icon is replaced with the pin. Okay, so that assure you that you've done that. Again, you don't get any points for doing the study plan. You don't get any points for doing this. Is like a homework. But however, if you go and retake the test and improve your grade, your best scores get recorded on Canvas on the day of the final. So two things happening here. One is you don't do random problems, you do targeted problems that you did wrong on the quizzes. And two is you don't get points for just doing homework, just for the sake of doing homework. You do get points if you retake that quiz and show your score. As long as you get 80% or higher for the quizzes, you get a full credit for this activity. So for the first quiz that you took on chapter 3, if you leave it alone, you don't get it to 80%. This quiz worth 20 points on Canvas. So you get 72.22% of 20 points on the day of the final. If you get above 80 or above, you get 20 points for that activity.
Oh, so if I go back and do those practice that I messed up on.
Yeah, and then retake this test. I guarantee you, if you do the way I'm showing you, once you retake this test, this would get very close to 100%.
Okay. I understand now.
The thing is, the whole point of doing it this way is to redo the problems that you did wrong. Enough problems you did wrong to understand, and you do have a step-by-step solution for each problem, so you don't have to go look for someone to show you. And then when you retake the test, then you can see the improvement. And then it's the best to not do this in one shot. Just do it throughout the day, do a few problems here, a few problems there, and then you would see you can retain this information in long run a lot better. The research shows that if you do problems not in one, don't cram off doing like a problem. You may do that approach works for preparing for an exam, and then boom, you want to take an exam and get a good grade. But if 3 months from the date that you took the exam, if you retake that exam, you are not going to get the same score. You're definitely going to get a lower score because you didn't do it in the long period of time. It's a good to do this problem throughout the day, throughout the week, little by little, to maintain and retain these. Okay, so try that, and you should be fine. So a lot of stuff that you have to do. What you have to finish the quiz for number 2, which is not done. I would leave it alone for right now. After you're done with quiz number 2, and after you're done with, can you go ahead and click on? Let me do that. This is how I can click on your Canvas. So if you look at your Canvas side, make sure to go to my multimedia library, and then when you go to the multimedia library, okay, I click on. And by the way, this how to use the study plan to improve your grade is exactly what I just showed you. That's a video of that, but I meant to go ahead and click on multimedia library. That video would show you how to do that, like I showed you. But when you go to the multimedia library, you want to go to the module 1. Again, these steps are the one that you want to really pay attention to, and the video about the portfolio also is there. 3 students show how to do the portfolio to organize your assignments. When I click on module 1, you can see the list of all the PowerPoint with my lectures on the PowerPoints here. I hope you've done that. These are all the examples that I have for you, and these are more examples and more traditional lectures here as I included in the orientation. And then same format exists for chapter 3, and after completing 2 chapters, you would see the copy of the practice test, which I showed you earlier. And then there are 2 links here for the practice test. I'm trying to do this a little slower so it doesn't go too fast down. Oh, here you go. So here's a practice test I'm referring to. This is a copy of the practice test with the embedded solution. So you can see a step-by-step solution for each problem on the practice test. Again, you don't have to look for someone to show you that. And then these are other practice tests that you should have it in your portfolio. However, you don't necessarily have to complete all of them. But if you feel like you want to do any of these extra practice tests, the step-by-step video solution for each problem is also posted here. You should refer to that. And these are all the lectures that I've done previously reviewing that practice test. So that goes back to some of them, as you can see, is really old one, but this is the same stuff we're doing now. This is like 2016. We covered, we did this on Zoom. We used to call it Confirm Zoom back then, but like very old videos. But as you can see here, we did selected problems. So like on this problem, on this session here, I did problem 1 to 5 on the practice test with the group of students. So you can see the interaction between me and students there. So these are the extra stuff you can refer to. However, to be honest with you, if you just simply click on the one with the step-by-step solution to each problem, that should be enough. But you have more options there. Okay. And then if some of these problems, as you can see, there are more than 1 link next to each problem, because we did like more or similar problems for that type of problems that posted there. Now, if you still don't understand any of these, like I said, you should post them on the discussion board, where we have the place to post math questions, or you can have 24/7 online tutoring as well. Or when we come to these sessions, Saturday sessions that we have, if you send it to me in advance, which problem or which areas that you have a difficulty, I can go ahead and go over lectures for you. And then I only record the lectures that hasn't been posted there. I don't want to duplicate things anymore, because I have over 5,000 lectures already posted. And also I post all these on YouTube too. So you see some of these are directed to my YouTube channel. As I mentioned there, if you do subscribe to that, you will get another alert from there that you can post it lectures. As you can see on the main page, the home page, I believe there is a link to how to do that. And then I also teach like statistic, college algebra, different courses as well. You're welcome to view all the solutions and lectures on that channel as well. So before I pause the recording once again, let's go ahead and stop sharing right now. Do you have any questions that I can answer?
No, I do not, but I didn't know that once you take the quizzes, you can go back through and, better your score by.
Okay, so you need to read. You need to read all the information that are posted. I did post that in several places on that. So under the calendar, I tried to actually post all the steps here. Here it says you can take the online quizzes as many times as you like to improve your grade. You see that note here? Okay.
No. I read the syllabus the first day. So that part I understood. Which was very informative for me was the fact that, whatever problems you made a mistake on, you can go back to the practice of those problems.
Oh, I see.
And that was.
If you remember, I should make a quiz out of this one too. Now you're telling me that this link here, I encourage everyone to view them. It says how to use a study plan to improve your grade. This is the link that This is a video that shows what I just showed you. This short video. Okay. So maybe
okay.
I'm gonna.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, for next semester, maybe I should change this to the type of quiz it would pause and force the students to actually view this and get points for doing that. So that's something I might do.
I think you should.
Yeah, because yeah,
I think you should.
Yeah, it looks like you didn't view that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually work on it. Maybe I just post them this week or next week and make a quiz out of this video. So make sure everybody know what to do.
Yeah, because this is actually really good. Mm-hmm. This is really good to give the student a chance to practice more on the math.
Yes.
Yeah, I like how it's set up, you know, so many resources for us to gain access to. But as I was gaining the access to it, I just got a little bit confused on, you know, okay, I took this quiz. I know I can take it over and over again, but I was not aware that you can go in there and actually click on the problem and say, oh, wow, there's some examples here that I can use to educate me so I can do even better. It breaks it out step by step. That's very informative.
Very good. So I would definitely make a quiz out of this video lecture for other students to make sure that they know. So that's good. So anything else I can help you in terms of any math questions, or before I pause the recording? Are we good so far?
No, Professor, we're good. I need to go back in there and go back down again.
Yeah. Go ahead and go ahead and stop sharing the screen now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause a recording as well. But if anything else, again, I would go ahead and.
How do I? Okay, let me see.
How do you do that? I'll show you. I can do that from my end. Oh, you did it.
I did it. Okay.
Yeah, you did that. So I'm going to go ahead and pause recording now. But if anything else come up worth recording, I'll resume. But it looks like we're good so far.